What is up, guys, and welcome back to an episode of the F123 Mobile Racing Career Mode. We are here for episode number 49 today, and this time, well, it's time to leave Ferrari. It's time to say goodbye to the Scuderia team, and time to move on to a new team for the new season. This was a very successful episode with the Ferrari team here. 9 wins, 11 podiums, and 11 top 10s. It was almost a complete sweep there. We couldn't pull it off, but of course, very glad to have such a very strong team and finally bring Ferrari some glory. But this time, it's time for Master 2 then. It's time to select a new team here. And a team that's been eyeing us quite closely is Red Bull. They want to hire us once again as their drivers. We all know how last year ended up with them. But yeah, it's time to end up going back to Red Bull here, and it'd be very nice to see what kind of car they have. And we all know that the 2023 Red Bull was by far the most dominant car out of 2023 by a long shot. I mean, it wasn't even close, but it'll be interesting to see how this car compares to the Ferrari that we just driven. Well, how much more dominant will this Red Bull be? And we're going to be given this first test at none other than Saudi Arabia. Of course, this Red Bull was infamous for its incredible straight line speed, and now we have a chance to see how well we can do in the RB19 against none other than Max Verstappen. So let's go then. 2-5, red lights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the opener with Red Bull. Here we go, and it's lights out, and away we go there. There was a very long and awkward pause there, but now we are underway nonetheless here. We do have the ERS once again to our use here as we make our way in towards turns 1 and 2, taking it nice and easy behind, I think that's Albon there in the Williams here. We're getting caught up here in a bit of traffic, trying to make our way through here, now using some ERS and trying to squeeze there past Albon. We're actually going to have to go in the middle there. It's going to be oh so close there between the Haas and the Williams, but we managed to make our way through here, now making our way up behind one of the sister Red Bulls here up into P13, and that was Ricardo here, of course a former Red Bull driver here. Fortunately, of course, we never got to see him take that spot, but now we're up into P13, and we're going to fly past Esteban Ocon in the Alpine here, up into P12, and we got Norris just up ahead of us, and I think that's another Alfa Romeo there in P10 there, and then we got the points. And by the way, look at the leaderboard. Stroll, out of all people, is leading this Grand Prix, so you know that this Aston Martin is quick as Stroll is leading here. So you make your way into this left-right-hander. Norris gets all out of shape here as he tried to overtake Bottas there. We're going to say thank you very much and pass Bottas at the same time. And just like that, we are up into the points-paying positions here. P10 as it stands. And we got Russell just up ahead of us. And I think that's another Aston Martin in P8. I think that's just ahead of him. I'm not sure. I think that might be Alonso in 8th. And then Piastri in 7th. As we make our way on the outside then of Norris here. This Red Bull is very quick in the straight line, and yes, to confirm, that is Alonso in 8th, Piastri in 7th. Stroll is doing wonders there in that Aston Martin up in 1st. I don't know how the heck he drives it up there, but I digress. As we make our way down the main straight here, we don't even have to use ERS. Just look at the straight line speed here, already powering past the Alpine of Pierre Gasly here, now up behind the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, moving to the inside and making the move stick up into P5. And we got Sainz just up ahead of us here in P4 as we try to chase down a podium here and hopefully pull off something. We get is a bit of ERS here out of that corner and make our way up into P4. Very nice move. And now we got a teammate Verstappen just ahead of us there in P3. Let's see if we can catch him in this Red Bull. I'm not gonna lie, first impressions driving this car, it is very hard to get a grasp of it. I mean, it's still a very good car, don't get me wrong. It's very good in the corners, but it feels heavier than the Ferrari. That was my first impression driving this car. I did not really feel that sort of lightness in the car compared to the Ferrari. The Ferrari felt like I could chuck it in the corner and the car will respond beautifully, but that is just not the case as we go on the outside of Verstappen here. Easy does it here up into P3 then. No harm done against the Dutchman here. As we make our way towards the chicane here, there is one thing that is better than the Ferrari, and this Red Bull straight line speed, because oh my goodness, that straight line speed is beautiful as we make the move stick before the corner here up into P2 then. Now we got 1.5 laps here to chase Lance Stroll there and the other Aston Martin. But coming back to the point about the car here, the car does feel a little bit heavier here, a little bit more dull in terms of the turning circle, but it is still of course very good as we catch up to Stroll under the brakes here, and because it is inherently, it feels a little bit heavier, it feels a little bit slower here under the braking. He doesn't feel that, I don't feel that confident under the brakes just yet, but maybe we just have to get used to the car as we make our way onto the final lap, then up the inside of the Canadian driver, and just like that, we have taken P1. Then we got one lap here of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So this Red Bull here, unfortunately not nearly as nimble as the Ferrari, but I cannot deny the absolute sheer velocity of the straight line speed of the RB19 here, and a track where, of course, straight line speed reigns supreme. We can't obviously deny that. As we make our way through this left and right-hander, and the left-hander here getting a bit of a momentum loss here as we touch the outside AstroTurf there, but making our way into this left-hander here, nice and easy here, just trying to get used to this car here, this different handling model here. Of course, also the car powered by the Honda RBPT Red Bull powertrain, so a bit of a different powertrain, so maybe a bit of a different power distribution here in terms of the torque layout compared to the Ferrari, so maybe that's also something that we can harness as well here. It's a purple first sector though, as you may have seen. As we're coming towards sector 3 here, this should be a purple second sector as well, and it will. 30.25 there, and let's see if we can make it 3 purple sectors in a row there, but we almost hit the wall there on the outside here. That was not the greatest run here. That's also kind of what I mean by the car not feeling that nimble. In the Ferrari, we definitely could have taken the corner at that speed and be perfectly fine, but the Red Bull had a bit of understeer here, but making our way into the final hairpin nonetheless, turn number 27 of this very long Jeddah Corniche circuit. We almost go out of the Grand Prix as we smacked into the wall pretty heavily there, but we managed to hold that off here, and we come across the line to win the the opener of the series with Red Bull. A very nice victory from the last to first then, as we come across the line and take the fastest lap as Verstappen. Our teammate will finish in P4, and that is it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode then as we continue our push.